Welcome back to this channel. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, then please do. Also, hit the bell notification icon to get updates regarding the further videos. So let us begin with today's video जिसमें डिस्कस करेंगे MEG 02 ब्रिटिश ड्रामा के important questions के बारे में. So our first play is Dr. Faustus. So the first question here is discuss Dr. Faustus as a tragedy. This is one of an important question because Dr. Faustus as a play is a tragic play and the character of Dr. Faustus is a tragic character. तो उन्हीं सारी चीजों के बारे में we have to write in this particular question. Next question, critically analyze Dr. Faustus as a Renaissance tragedy. This is also one of an important question जो काफी बार IGNOU exams में पूछा जाता है. To discuss and analyze the character of Dr. Faustus as a Renaissance tragedy, because this particular play was written in the Renaissance period and it was also written by Christopher Marlowe, who is also one of a quintessential Renaissance man. So उन्हीं सारी चीजों के बारे में we have to discuss in this particular question. Next, quote, Homo fudge, whither should I fly? Question mark and unquote. Analyze Dr. Faustus in the context of this statement. So this is a quote which is taken from Dr. Faustus' play and this particular line is spoken by Dr. Faustus, जिसमें it is showcasing the dilemma or irony of Dr. Faustus that Homo fudge, whither I should fly. He is in a complete dilemma when he has to choose between the God and the devil. So it is also a very important quote from the particular text. Next question, bring out the nature of tragic conflict of Dr. Faustus. इसमें हमें tragic conflict के बारे में बताना है. That means what is the tragic flaw or tragic conflict of Dr. Faustus. जिसमें हम we can mention about the tragic flaw, that is the greed, the lust for knowledge, over ambition, over human aspirations, ambitions of Dr. Faustus. उस सब के बारे में we can mention in this particular question. In next question, attempt a critical appreciation of Dr. Faustus as dramatic poetry. So dramatic poetry की जहाँ पर बात आती है, we have to talk about Dr. Faustus as a dramatic play. That means Christopher Marlowe has used the blank verse for creation of his particular drama or this play, Dr. Faustus. उसके बारे में we have to mention in this particular question. Next question, do you think the tragic resolution is the strength of Dr. Faustus? इसमें we have to answer whether or not there is a tragic irresolution के बारे में हमें इस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन में इलेबोरेट वे में बताना है कि whether it is a strength or it is not a strength. Last question, quote, Dr. Faustus is a tragedy of the Renaissance and Reformation, unquote, comment. This is also one of a major and an important question जिसमें हमें दोनों चीजों के बारे में डिस्कस करना है. That is the tragedy of the Renaissance of this particular character and also we have to talk about the Reformation because जिस एज में ये लिखा गया हुआ था text, that age is also called as the Renaissance and the Reformation age. Now moving on to the next play that is written by William Shakespeare, that is A Midsummer Night's Dream. So the first question is, how does Shakespeare alter the romantic comedy formula in A Midsummer Night's Dream? We know that A Midsummer Night's Dream is a romantic comedy, but what are the things or what are the specific features of that has been incorporated by William Shakespeare that it alters the whole conception of romantic comedy, because this is a particular romantic Shakespearean comedy. तो हमें उस सब के features के बारे में इस question में बताना है. Next question, analyze Shakespeare's treatment of women in A Midsummer Night's Dream. This is also very important question जिसमें हमें सारा women portrayal, women position and women characters के बारे में बताना है. Next question, discuss A Midsummer Night's Dream as a romantic comedy? This is also similar question to the first question, जिसमें हमें romantic comedy के बारे में बताना है and what are the features of the romantic comedy and what does it mean by Shakespearean romantic comedy. So what are the peculiar features of romantic comedy that has been described and that has been incorporated by Shakespeare. Next question, critically examine the significance of dreams in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Obviously, as the title suggests, it is actually a dream that happens on a midsummer's night. So, what is the significance? Because dreams is one of an important theme in this particular play. So, uske बारे में we have to write in this answer. Next question, discuss the role played by the mechanicals, especially Bottom, in A Midsummer Night's Dream. So, Bottom was a very important character in this particular play, जो कि play within a play वाले concept में भी पूछा जा सकता है that Pyramus and Thisbe का जो ये act कर रहे थे, that is a play within a play, उसके बारे में we can write, and also specifically we have to talk about the role of the mechanicals, that means the set of mechanicals जो थे, और especially Nick Bottom जो कि important character था amongst the mechanicals, उसके बारे में we have to write. Next question, how is romantic comedy different from comedy of humors? So इसमें we have to differentiate between romantic comedy and comedy of humors. So general also we have to talk in this particular answer, or specifically in relation to Midsummer Night's Dream के हिसाब से भी we have to elaborate. Now next question, what is the basic plot of romantic comedy? Why does it end in feasting and dancing? Obviously, because comedy ends on a happy note. So, happy ending is one of the greatest features of romantic comedy and comedies in general. So, usi ke baare mein we have to elaborate. Next question, bring out the role of fairies in A Midsummer Night's Dream. So, role of fairies, that means we have to talk about Oberon, Titania and Puck. Unka kya significance tha in relation to the particular or the basic plot of the play. Uske baare mein we have to elaborate. Next question, what are the common points between the main play and the mechanicals play in A Midsummer Night's Dream? That means we have to understand and write कि कौन कौन से सिमिलर पॉइंट्स थे मेन प्ले में जो कि मेजर कैरेक्टर्स प्ले कर रहे थे, और एक जो दूसरा प्ले था जो कि मैकेनिकल्स प्ले कर रहे थे, दैट मीन्स पिरामिस एंड थिस्बी का जो वो प्ले कर रहे थे एंड दे एक्ट इन द लास्ट सेगमेंट ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर प्ले, उसके बीच में व्हाट आर द कॉमन सिमिलैरिटीज इन दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. नाउ कमिंग to the next play, that is Hamlet. This is a very important play by William Shakespeare. It is also a tragedy or a tragic play. So let us see the answers, questions and the answers of all these questions. So I quote, Claudius rather than Hamlet is the protagonist of the play, unquote. Do you agree? So isme it is basically upon you ke whether you find Claudius as the protagonist or Hamlet. Basically Hamlet is actually the protagonist, then we have to justify that why Hamlet is a protagonist of the play and not Claudius. So it is basically on the basis of your point of view and perception. Next question, revenge is the central theme in Hamlet. So revenge, obviously this is a very important question because the whole play of Hamlet is about revenge. So revenge is a very important or a dominant theme in this play, Hamlet. Next question, discuss the play within the play and metaphors of theatre with reference to the plot of Hamlet. तो इसमें भी we have to talk about play within the play, जो कि एक तरह से performance होती है within this plot of Hamlet, उसके बारे में we have to elaborate. Next question, critically analyze Hamlet's soliloquies in the play. Very, very important question because Hamlet's soliloquies, 7 soliloquies of Hamlet के बारे में question काफी बार पूछा जाता है. Next question, the tragedy of Hamlet is the tragedy of irresolution and inaction. Do you agree with the assessment? Yes, we do agree because this tragic flaw of Hamlet is actually about inaction. So basically we have to talk about the tragic flaw of Hamlet as a character. Next question, bring out the enormous significance of the soliloquies in the play Hamlet. So again, a significance soliloquies के बारे में question पूछा हुआ है. Next question, write a critical note on Hamlet's attitude towards Claudius in the play Hamlet. So इसमें we have to talk about the relationship that was shared between Hamlet and Claudius, that how was their relationship basically. Now next question, discuss Hamlet as a tragedy. Very general question because obviously this is a tragedy, तो simple and straightforward question पूछा गया है. Now next question, describe critically, I quote, to be or not to be, unquote, in the context of Shakespeare's Hamlet. So this is very important soliloquy or a part of Hamlet's soliloquies which he does say in the third act of Hamlet. So ये question को हमें elaborate way में इस soliloquy को basically we have to understand and write in our answer. Now next question or the last question, the tragedy of Hamlet is the tragedy of a man obsessed with melancholy. Examine it critically. Melancholy is actually a character trait or humor of Hamlet. So basically we have to talk about the humor of Hamlet because he is a very melancholic character. So that is why we have to write that how this melancholic character also has led to the formation of the tragedy of Hamlet as a character. Now next is The Alchemist, play that is written by Ben Jonson. So the first question is, discuss the illusion of reality with regard to alchemy as the central motive in The Alchemist. ये alchemy के बारे में, profession के बारे में है alchemist, and that is why the title of the play is Alchemist. So that is why we have to draw a line between the illusion of reality and alchemy profession. Now next question, Ben Jonson's The Alchemist attempts to capture the spirit of its age. Comment. So इस particular question में we have to write about the Jacobean period because this particular play was written in the Jacobean times or Jacobean period. So उसके बारे में we have to elaborate. Even next question is also similar on the similar note. What aspects of Jacobean society are depicted in Ben Jonson's The Alchemist? We have to write and mention about specifically about the Jacobean society that has been depicted in Ben Jonson's The Alchemist. Now next question, discuss The Alchemist as a comedy of character and event. This is also an important question because Alchemist as a comedy of character, because सारे जितने भी characters हैं इस particular play में, they are actually playing a comic role in themselves. So वो event और comedy of character कैसे है, that is something we have to elaborate in this particular question. Now next question, what is the role played by the swindlers and the dupes in The Alchemist? इसमें हमें सारे swindlers और dupes जो थे, that is Subtle, Joel Common, Face और Jeremy the Butler, इन सभी के बारे में we have to elaborate in this particular question. Now next question, discuss The Alchemist as a satirical comedy. A very important question because Alchemist is actually a social satire. It is a satire on the whole society or the London society of the London society, that how this particular profession was satirized by Ben Jonson and the whole hypocrisy of the London society is being criticized or is satirized in this particular play. Now next question, what role does Subtle play in Ben Jonson's The Alchemist? So इस पे हमें specifically character of Subtle के बारे में elaborate करना है. Now next question, discuss the comedy of humors with special reference to Ben Jonson's The Alchemist. This is also a very important question because जहाँ पे Ben Jonson की बात आती है वहाँ पे comedy of humor की बात अपने आप ही आ जाती है because he is the one who has written a lot about comedy of humors, the four humors that is present in the human body, और उन सभी के बारे में we have to elaborate in this particular question. Now next question, The Alchemist is a satire on the human follies and foibles. Discuss. So this is also very important because this play is a satire, जो कि मैंने पहले भी बोला था, and it is also a satire on human foolishness and foibles and follies, because every character is symbolic of a folly or a foolishness, basically. So, pretense, greed, avarice are the major themes in The Alchemist. Now, last question from this particular play is, what makes The Alchemist so popular among theatre groups both in Elizabethan and modern age? So, this is a question जिसमें हमें we have to divide The Alchemist as a play that has been gained so much popularity and significance among the theatre groups. इसमें हमें Elizabethan age के बारे में भी बोलना है और modern times के बारे में भी बोलना है. Now the next play is The Playboy of the Western World. So the first question here is, The Playboy of the Western World is a play about rebellion. Comment. So this is a very frequently asked question because this play is actually about the revolt and a rebellion of Christy Mahon or an individual to the society and the times. So all those things has to be written in this particular answer. Now next question, discuss the farcical elements in The Playboy of the Western World. इसमें basically we have to churn out that what are the farcical elements, because this play is a farce. So कौन कौन से elements हैं उनको identify करना पड़ेगा पहले, उसके बाद हमें लिखना पड़ेगा. Now next question, discuss the role of J.M. Synge in the Irish dramatic movement with special reference to The Playboy of the Western World. So basically this play also caters a lot about the Irish dramatic movement. तो उसके बारे में we have to incorporate that how this particular play Irish dramatic movement के बारे में बहुत सारी चीजें reveal out करता है and बताता है. Now next question, discuss the Playboy of the Western World as the Bildungsroman that portrays the development of the central character, that is Christy Mahon. So obviously it is a Bildungsroman because we see that how Christy Mahon, who is the protagonist, grows throughout the play. So uske बारे में we have to talk about. Now next question, examine the Playboy of the Western World as a folk play, because this has been written by J.M. Synge, who is one of the greatest writers of the folklore literature. So वही सारी elements के बारे में we can write in this particular answer, and how this particular play is a folk play. What are the folk elements in this particular this play? Now next question, the Playboy of the Western World is neither a comedy nor a tragedy. Discuss critically. Very important question because this particular play is very different or distinct from the other plays that we have read so far in our course. So basically it does not fall in the category of comedy or a tragedy. It is a mixture of all the elements basically. So comedy, tragedy, morality, humor, irony, satire. So all those things are intermingled in this particular play. Now coming to the next question, that is, examine the Playboy of the Western World as an extravagant comedy and Bildungsroman. That means हमें इसमें सबसे पहले दो चीजें बतानी है कि it's an extravagant comedy, उसके बारे में we have to talk, and then Bildungsroman कैसे है उसके बारे में we have to write. Now next question, write an essay on imagery in J.M. Synge, The Playboy of the Western World. इसमें हमें imagery के बारे में बताना है कि कौन कौन से images and कौन कौन से imagery, symbolism, all those things we have to write. Now last question, comment on the title The Playboy of the Western World. This is also a very important question जिसमें हमें significance of the title, that means Playboy of the Western World. Basically we have to talk more about Christy Mahon as a character and uska growth and development throughout the play and uski transformation. Now coming to the next important play, that is Pygmalion by G.B. Shaw. The first question is, analyze the comic conventions in Pygmalion. So इसमें हमें comic elements के बारे में बताना है कि कौन कौन से comic elements are present in this particular play. Now next question, critically comment on the character of Eliza in Pygmalion. Specifically हमें Eliza, जो कि important character है, important female character है इस पूरे play में, उसके बारे में बताना है, how she is transformed from a simple flower girl into a duchess and a mannerly woman. Next question, what are the social implications of the different modes of English speech? Answer with reference to to Shaw's Pygmalion. So इसमें social implications of different modes. That means what are the social factors? That means class के बारे में, gender के बारे में, education के बारे में, all these themes के बारे में हमें इस particular question में बताना है. Now next question, I quote, Pygmalion hinges on the contrast of characters. Unquote. Critically comment. इस particular question में we have to talk that how all the characters are the contrast. That means how each of the character in this particular play is a contrast of character, right? So इस चीज के बारे में we have to talk. Now next question, what according to Shaw are the social implications of different modes of English speech? So this is also similar kind of a question जो कि पहले भी हमने बोला था कि social implications के बारे में, that is also very frequently asked question. So इसको भी हम सारे इसमें social factors और social themes जो हमारे इस play में हैं, that is class, gender, education, manners, the upper class society, the middle class society, or the lower class society, all those things, the concept of marriage, the concept of patriarchy, ये सारी चीजें हम इस question में लिखेंगे. Now coming to the next question, do you think Shaw's Pygmalion is critical of social snobbery and class distinctions? Give a reasoned answer. Just as I have mentioned earlier, इसमें हमें social snobbery and class distinctions, इन दो social aspects को basically हमें cover करना है. Now next question, does Shaw's use of myth contribute to the enrichment of Pygmalion? Justify your answer. So इस particular question में we have to elaborate on the myth of Shaw. That means जो उसने Greek myth of Pygmalion and Glacia का incorporation किया है, उसके बारे में we have to write in this particular question. Now next question, comment on the themes and issues that Shaw raises in Pygmalion. So all the themes and all the issues सबके बारे में we have to write in this particular answer. Last question, was G.B. Shaw a romantic? Is the element of romance in the play in harmony with the ideology of Pygmalion? इसमें we have to talk about what all are the romantic elements in this particular play and whether or not it is in the harmony with the text or not. Now coming to Murder in the Cathedral, a play written by T.S. Eliot. The first question, examine critically the idea of martyrdom in T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral. Very, very important question because the theme of martyrdom is a very important theme in this particular play. Now next question, critically examine the role of chorus in Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral. This is also very frequently asked question, role of chorus. हमें इसमें chorus के role को अच्छे से describe करना है. Now comment on the significance of the fourth temptation in Murder of the Cathedral. कि कौन सी जो हमारी fourth temptation है इस particular text की, what is the significance, what is the importance of the fourth tempter in this particular play? Now next question, delineate the nature of four temptations that Beckett undergoes in the play Murder in the Cathedral. इसमें थॉमस बेकेट के बारे में बात हो रही है कि कौन सी फोर टेम्पटेशंस उनके सामने आती हैं और क्या कहती हैं उन्हें और किस बारे में वो टेम्प्ट करती हैं थॉमस बेकेट को. Now next question, comment on Beckett's silence after the fourth temptation in Murder in the Cathedral. इसमें हमें specifically fourth temptation के बारे में लिखना है और why was Thomas Becket silent after he heard the fourth temptation. Last question, the chorus in Murder in the Cathedral reflects the growth in Thomas Becket. Discuss. इसमें we have to comment on the significance of the chorus, that was a set of female characters, and how it has led to the growth of the main protagonist, that is Thomas Becket. Now coming to look back in anger के questions के बारे में, that has been written by John Osborne. So the first question here is, gender and class conflict are central to look back in anger. Discuss. Very important question because gender and class इन दोनों की conflict इस particular play में बहुत ज़्यादा दिखाई देती है and portray हुई है. So उसके बारे में we have to write. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द टाइटल ऑफ द प्ले लुक बैक इन एंगर। बेसिकली इसमें हमें सिंबलिज्म के बारे में बताना है। जिमी पॉटर जो कि प्रोटैगनिस्ट है, उसके एंगर के बारे में हमें बताना है, एंड व्हाई दिस लुक बैक इन एंगर, दिस इज एन इमेजरी, सो उसका क्या सिग्निफिकेंस है उसके बारे में वी हैव टू राइट। नाउ डिस्कस लुक बैक इन एंगर इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द एंग्री यंग मैन। तो इसमें बेसिकली हमें टेक्स्ट को डिस्कस करना है एंग्री यंग मैन की कॉन्टेक्स्ट में। Now, next question, discuss the romantic and modernist conceptions of character in the presentation of Jimmy as play's protagonist. इसमें हमें बेसिकली रोमांटिक एलिमेंट्स एंड मॉडर्निस्ट कंसेप्शंस के बारे में बताना है, जो कि जिमी एज अ प्रोटैगनिस्ट एंड द मेन कैरेक्टर को रिप्रेजेंट करता है। Now, next question, make a critical assessment of Jimmy Allison relationship from the feminist perspective. Very, very important question because इसमें हमें feminist perspective लगाना है and we have to talk about what are the complications or what are the complex relationship that has been shared by Jimmy and Allison. Very important question once again. So now next question, bring out the element of misogyny in the play Look Back in Anger. So element of misogyny, that means again we have to talk about the feminist perspective and कौन सी misogynistic statements दी हुई हैं जिमी पॉटर ने towards Ellison and the other upper class women or the upper class people. So उसके बारे में we have to elaborate. Now, last question from this text is, give a brief character sketch of Jimmy in the play Look Back in Anger. इसमें हमें कैरेक्टर स्केच बताना है जिमी पॉटर का, जो कि मेन प्रोटैगनिस्ट है, उसका एंगर, क्लास डिस्टिंक्शन, उसका रिलेशनशिप विद द अदर कैरेक्टर्स, बाकी ये सारी चीजें हमें इस पर्टिकुलर टेक्स्ट में कवर करनी है। Now our last play is Waiting for Godot, that has been written by Samuel Beckett. First question, comment on the structure of Waiting for Godot. इसमें हमें structure of the two acts के बारे में बताना है। Next question, discuss Waiting for Godot as a play that presents the existentialist crisis of modernism. So basically हमें existentialism, that was a movement or that was also there in this particular play, उसके बारे में बताना है and how it was a crisis in the modernist age and in the modernist perspective. Now next question, critically analyze Lucky's speech in Waiting for Godot. ये भी काफी बार आ जाता है कि लकी ने अपनी स्पीच में क्या बोला था, तो what was the importance of this particular speech. Now next question, Samuel Beckett rejects the received logic of form and conventional structure. Comment. That means how he has subverted with the tradition of writing the particular play, उसके बारे में we have to talk, his experimentation basically. Now next question, in Waiting for Godot, the irrationality of human experience is transferred to the stage. Comment. इसमें basically we have to talk about the irrationality of the human experience, that means whole human condition के बारे में and how it has been very well presented by the two tramps, that is Vladimir and Estragon. Now next question, what changes do Pozo and Lucky undergo in the course of Waiting for Godot? So basically हमें इनकी transformation और changes के बारे में बताना है. Now next question, bring out the significance of the title Waiting for Godot. Very important question. Significance of the title में हम सारी चीजें cover करेंगे कि how waiting is an important theme and how Godot is an important character, or as a theme also he is very important. Now next question, discuss Samuel Beckett's play Waiting for Godot as a tragic comedy. So it is a tragic comedy, तो हमें इसमें दोनों elements, that means tragic elements and comic elements, दोनों के बारे में discuss करना है. Now next question, what is so unique about the structure of the play Waiting for Godot? What is so unique? That means हमें uniqueness, जो कि what makes it distinct from the other plays, उसके बारे में we have to talk. Now next question, examine the interaction of the two tramps Estragon and Vladimir in Waiting for Godot. So उनके behaviors, उनके gestures, silence, pauses और उनकी पूरी interaction के बारे में we have to talk about. Their statements, their dialogues, उन सभी के बारे में, and how it leads to the entire theme of the Waiting for Godot as a play. Now last question, discuss Waiting for Godot as avant-garde play or theatre of the absurd. Very important question. because this play is about experimentation, it is about existentialism, it is about the theater of the absurd. Absurdity is a very important theme in this particular play. So this brings to the end of today's video. If you found this video to be helpful, do press the like button, share, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel.